You may be as giddy as a frog in heat right now thinking of a native lens. If you're a Sony shooter, you're looking at the G Master thinking, oh boy, what if? But then you look over to reality, something you could actually afford. Oh, a third-party lens. It's almost as good. A Tamron. Look at that. It's half the price if it was a foot. I think we pay more than we think, don't we, with those savings? Yeah, let's talk about it.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So I figured today we talk about our third-party lenses worth getting because they're so much cheaper. I look at a Sony G Master, I'm like, what the hell? Serious? They're like $3,000 for the 16 to 35, even used. It's like $2,800. I was like, who would ever do that? Whereas like a Tamron's like $1,000. You don't get the same range. We actually have a third-party lens today hoping to prove me wrong, swearing that they've done enough to make up for the G Master abilities in their heart. So we test this lens today, a TTArtisan 21mm Tony 1.5. We're on a 20mm 1.8, more tone, slight crop in. So right now we're allowed to witness the Sony brilliance of the autofocusing system, moving around wherever I please. Can't hold me in a box. It actually did put a box on my face. I'm back. Not even distorted. That's what I love. Now some third-party lenses actually autofocus pretty well, never quite up to Sony's level, but close, mostly indistinguishable. This one won't, but is it as sharp? Tony, let's switch over to it. And then we talk about, is it worth it for every system going third-party routes to school? Ta-da! We're good. I know TTArtisan wouldn't. I really liked their 50mm 1.2 on the Fuji. I was like, wow, it was so cheap but beautiful. So I was like, okay, let's check this one out. Tech it out. It could make sense on a tech channel. Check it out. This is the closest focusing distance. That doesn't seem very close. Now next to me is a native shooter using a Sony lens because he was gifted it, not because he paid actual hard-earned money for it, but he received gifts from the flat earth realm, if one must choose to be there. Does he look better? It better not be sharper. I gotta tell you, I'm having some regrets already. Okay, I moved back a bit, not much to make any actual difference, but sometimes lenses at their closest focusing distance, it's not very sharp. And then like mid-range, it's better, and then long is terrible. Like, that's stupid. Just design a piece of glass that's focused on me, you piece of shit. But what you're looking at right now is a $220 lens versus like $800 for this. 4 times the cost. Like, that matters. It's huge. Like, the A7S III is so expensive. Like, I never would have bought it. I got the deal of a lifetime. Thank you, the heavens. I got that thing. I was like, wow. I use it so as its intended use in a living room, mostly. I got some footage. I got this bird the other day. This was with the Voigtlander 1.2mm, and it flew by, and then it like slid, and like, that is epic footage by yours truly, nature's photographer, videographer, manual focus. I got skills to pay the bills. I'm behind in a lot of my bills. But for $200, you're getting a 1.5 lens that's not admittedly very sharp wide open in my initial testing. You might have to stop it down to 25.6 or something. We're sharp now, I bet. We're at 24. There's no electronic contact, so I have to look at the actual ring. But for $220, you're getting all metal, aperture ring, nice smooth focus ring. Like, it's not too far of a throw. I hate those long ones where you're like multiple turns, impossible to use. And if you need filters, it does come with this awkward thing. You could either just put the lens cap on, which I prefer, or you screw this thing on, and then this is a 72mm filter thread. Put filters on there and then screw it in awkwardly. That should be magnets. Is it? think it is. So let's talk a little bit about third-party lenses in general, and then we'll go outside for a little dumpster vlog test, see if the stab is alright on this thing. Is it? I thought it'd be like the ultimate vlogging lens. It should be. Even more tonner than I need. That's a lot of tons. So, in general, third-party lens, you're getting a different color than you're used to, but on Sony, sometimes it kicks things back to normal. It could, because Sony's color, every time I switch from like a Canon to Sony, Fuji to Sony, things get green, they get weird. My reds are all the way down. It didn't help. It didn't help a damn thing. It's the reddest shirt I've ever seen in my life. I wonder if I can show you the changes I was making live. I can, I think. The color depth, the reds. So we're at -5. Watch it +1. No, that's +7. Like, look at this. What city of Mexico do I live in? And then minus, it gives it like almost a more pleasing pinkish orange type of thing. So like I'm thinking that was one of Sony's problems. This is 0 and it's like too red. Makes my skin look red and weird. So here's -5, but so does Fuji Eterna. Makes it all super red. So you're getting weird color shifts. The Samyangs are, those are disgusting. Some of the worst. I don't think I'll ever buy another Samyang. I've tested a couple. I don't mind the 12mm 22 on a Fuji, but that's because you're behind a Fuji. A Fuji is backing you. You can't even mess up the colors. Yes, you can. I just said that it's too red. Usually native lenses are sharper. Depends though. If you're a Sigma, those are even sharper than the natives at times. So it depends what you're going for, but it's so heavy. That's why. Sigma needs like this area, and then they make the lens so big to be corner sharp. It's so heavy though. So stupid. But man, that Samyang 18mm 22.8 on here made it look like a Canon RP, like it was line skipped. It looks so terrible, just unsharp. I don't need super sharp. This is probably pleasing. Let's go back wide open. What are we even doing here? There's so many problems with third-party lenses. I think the only way to describe them would be to sneak in on a meeting between a native lens user and a third-party scrub. Have any such meetings took place? Oh, hey Gary, that's an interesting setup you have there. What's that, the Sony FX9? What lens is that on there? It's a Casio. They make lenses now. They used to only make stopwatches, but it's actually pretty good. You stop it down to 28. It's pretty sharp, tack sharp, one might say. Looks really light too. Fun looking. What's that plastic made of? It's kind of shiny. Looks like it would maybe snap if you twist it too hard, connecting it to the mount. Does it? It is an experimental plastic. It's scratch resistant. Shatters on impact, but don't drop it. Who drops their lens? It's fine. It's cost me $14. I don't have the money for your G-Master bullshit. Why are they so expensive? There's just glass. Glass is free. You find it on the beach. It's sand. Hey man, relax. I'm sure things will pick up for you. You'll be able to get one of these that actually produces what the camera was designed to produce. You know, sharpness, autofocus that works. Third party, it's a good place to start. And you're starting. I believe in you. I didn't just get it because it's cheap. The principle behind it. I don't need to spend that kind of money on your bullshit. Your lies. Your factory workers. Can they have a lunch hour? This Tuesday maybe? Huh? Okay, we learned nothing in the meeting, but in general, third-party lenses are usually a strange color cast, not as sharp. The autofocus can be jittery and weird, jumpy, skippy, completely unreliable at times. But the biggest downside of a third-party lens is something I have to show you. I can't just tell you. Let's go to a dumpster near us. The shot is so dumpster-like. The contrasting green with the blue. It's just something to work towards for your channel. Just keep it in mind. So we have, right now, active stab, 20mm, 21.8. Should be pretty smooth if you are careful. If you walk this fast, you don't mind taking 3 hours to get to your grocery store of choice, you'll get there safe. And the stabe's good. I find every third-party lens I've tried on this, it doesn't work. It's just so shaky. I'm like, why? Even the Tamron 17 to 28, the Laowa 15mm 22. So let's switch over to the 21mm and see, does the stabilization become unusable? I find Sony's, it's not great, but if you're careful, it's good. For a full frame, you can't complain. I could, and have, and will again. Let's switch. Okay, the odds of me being in focus, 0%. Impossible. You can't see the peaking on a soft lens. So pay attention to the stabe. I'm going to try to be super careful and debunk my ass and say, oh, this is the smoothest thing you've ever seen. Maybe it's doable, but it could just be that I'm weak as shit on almost 90 days, nothing but juice. Thank you for all the skinny shaming comments down below. I appreciate it. And everything just seems a little heavier now. I've lost a little bit of muscle, but can you do a one-arm pull-up? Oh, you can't, can you? No one cares. This lens isn't much heavier. Initially, it was like, wow, that's kind of heavy. Man, the Sony 20mm is so much lighter, but then I weighed them. Sony is 390 grams with the lens hood. This is 423. No lens hood, but that big freaky thing. You gonna do that? 72mm? Get Black Peter McKinnon's Evil Twins filter? You can't do that. So I think we have to stop down. Let's test some sharpness. We know 0 chance 1.5 is sharp. Here's a 24. That could be it. That could be enough. I find full frame 24, you still get some separation. I could be in focus here. How's the stabilization performing? But that's what I notice every single time. A third-party lens, the stabe isn't as good, the autofocus isn't quite as good. It's a compromise. But then you have to pay money. You have to pay actual money for G Master shits, and they're heavy. That 16mm 30. Did I just miss a package? Tony 5.6. We could be sharp. We could be. So yeah, like the G Master lenses, so expensive and heavy. Like I could never bring that thing. The 16 to 35. Maybe the Zeiss Tony 4 equivalent. Still heavier than all this stuff. It's heavier than the 20mm, so why would you bring it? But in general, you don't have to go for the G Master lens, but like a Sony lens for a Sony system. The Fuji lenses, I find just the color's better, the autofocus is better. The Viltroxes are okay. It's close. Some do it alright. Like, you could argue that the Viltrox autofocus is better. Sometimes it does. Not really. It's not smoother. There's always a compromise. For that money, you save a little cash, you throw it out your ass. That Yongnuo for Canon, I actually like that lens. That setup stood up to this with the 90mm macro, like Sony's sharpest lens. Canon R in 1080p, like looked just as good, if not better. Like my skin went green when I switched to the Sony. It's bullshit. Do we have sun stars? Are we sun starring our life? Where are you? Oh, there. Oh, the beauty. Oh, the beauty. Shine down my face. Follow the ridge. Full frame Tony 8. I should have moved it out, but that gets heavy. That's heavy in the ass. What if we walk, like actually walk, like I had to get somewhere? How's the stabe? It could be good. We're on the PGY Tech Mantis Pod. World's best review of it down below. That's a heavy walk. That's a shaky walk. At Tony 8, this is disgusting. And I'm near a dumpster. A Tony 8 vlog with shaky dumpster footage. Oh man, when it comes to Micro Four Thirds, even though you get like an Olympus camera with phase detect, even using Panasonic lenses, which should be native, they're not. They don't perform the same, at least not all of them. Maybe some of them are good, but my Leica 15mm is so tiny and cute. Tony 1.7, it looks so magical, but it jumps and hunts like a lion. There's a butterfly. Oh, focus on him for some reason. Oh, the magic is ours. The magic is ours. He's surrounding me. Oh, this is such great footage. So in my opinion, if you have a Sony camera, buy a Sony lens. Buy the native lens if you can afford it. Just save up a little longer, you'll appreciate it. Because these are like big purchases that last you a lifetime pretty much. If you're careful with it, why would this stop working? I can't imagine the A7S III stopping. Like, I'll sell this thing before it stops working. Why would the video just stop? I imagine shutter count losers stealing images from my earth. Yeah, eventually that thing's gonna fail, but eventually it switches over to electronic shutter, nothing dies ever. So, yeah. As for this lens, I think it's slightly heavier than the 20mm. It's nowhere near sharp, wide open, so it's not quite as good as the 50mm 1.2. So I just got to be honest with you, I can't really recommend it. It's so cheap. This is the only thing you could afford, you could get by with it at 24, maybe. But thank you for sending it to me, TTArtisans. I'm definitely not selling it. So, how you doing? Do you agree? Down below, native lenses are the truth? And how was the GoPro Micro? That's not even the name. GoPro, what the hell? I used the Rode Video Micro the whole video. On camera. Was it terrible? Please say no. After you buy a Camera Conspiracies t-shirt. Subscribe for more videos and I'll see you in the next one.